Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. I am Sanya, and in today's video I'm going to talk about overcoming negative thoughts with the help of Maharishi Patanjali as well as my Guru Dhanapani. So I'm going to club these two things together to provide a very robust solution to you, provided you follow what I say in this video. So let's begin by understanding why do we really need to overcome negative thoughts. When negative thoughts arise in our mind, it takes us down. It takes us down into an endless cycle. It takes us down to anxiety, to stress, to depression, and also overwhelming mental chatter that we also go through when we have an argument with somebody, or maybe there's someone who got really angry with us and out of no reason, like it happens, right? Maybe there are a lot of things that is going on inside their head, that's why they just said something to us which we did not like, and in the reaction of it we also go through those negative emotions, and we also have this constant mental chatter, and we are just fighting in our head with that person, and it's all draining our energy. Eventually what will happen is you will feel that you don't feel like doing the things that you want to do in life, and also you would want to fight with that person, and it'll all lead you into physical stress, emotional stress, mental stress, and also some diseases. So eventually all these things lead us into suffering. That's why it's very important that we need to stop negative thoughts and replace it with something which is positive. But in situations like these where we just don't know what to do, when the situation is very difficult in front of us and we are overwhelmed by those emotions. Over 2000 years ago, Maharishi Patanjali gave us a beautiful way to live our life, and also a way to enlighten ourselves into the spiritual path where we will be free from suffering, where we'll be free from illness, mental illness, spiritual illness, physical illness. But those things are to be really understood with the help of a teacher and applied in our life. Only then we'll be able to understand what is it that he's saying. Merely listening to me will not help until and unless you practice it in your life. So let's begin by understanding the first tip which Maharishi Patanjali is talking about in his Yoga Sutras. So we'll understand first the nature of negative thoughts. So Maharishi Patanjali claims that these negative thoughts are coming through our sanskaras of previous lifetimes. It's not something that you have gained just only through this lifetime. They are there, lying there dormant within your mind. And in Hindi or in Sanskrit we call them vrittis. These are formed by deep rooted patterns which are shaped by our experiences and our habits. But here is the good news: just as they are created, they can also be dissolved. So let's begin by understanding how we can dissolve the negative patterns and replace them with the positive patterns. Maharishi Patanjali gives one stop solution to all the negative patterns, that you have to cultivate Pratipaksha Bhavana, which means replacing your negative thoughts with the positive one. For example, if you feel fearful, try to cultivate courage. When you feel angry, try to practice patience, and over time you will be creating and rewiring your old patterns in your mind. So for example, these sanskaras are built because of some repeated patterns in your mind. If you have been angry or stressed throughout your life, maybe due to certain environmental conditions, and after repeated suppression of emotions, or maybe showing anger to others, or even suppressing the anger, all of those things are building some sort of an emotional and mental pattern within you. But the moment you take charge and decide that you don't want to be associated with those negative patterns anymore, and you want to break those patterns and create more healthy patterns, what will you do? You chuck those negative patterns out, replace them with the positive ones, because you want to rewire your brain with something positive. How will you do it? When the situation like this arises, which is instigating you, which is instigating or instilling a lot of anger in you, what would you do? Try to practice patience at that time. Maybe you're not able to understand how to stop yourself from saying those harsh words to the other person. Just try to stop that feeling right away. You might have to apply force at that time, because those patterns that you have built are built over a period of time. Let's say you're 28 or 30 years old today. You took these many years to create those negative patterns. It will not go away easily. But if you want to create the opposite positive patterns in life, you'll have to apply a lot of force to break it and make it even and neutralize the effect. It'll not happen overnight. To be honest, I still face those issues, but with time, I've realized that I can now channelize my energy in a lot better way, because I have been somebody who used to suppress my emotions, specifically anger emotions, a lot. But over a certain period of time, those suppressing of those anger emotions became illness within my digestive tract, and it made me suffer a lot. So those emotions that you're feeling, even though you're not expressing it outwardly, but somewhere it's lying there within your body, you need to do something about it. You can't just let it be. If you don't do something about it, if you don't resolve your emotional issues, they will become a physical problem in your life. Or maybe you'll attract people or situations around you which are negative in nature. So it's very important that you go through your life and try to understand where did those negative emotions come from, and try to reflect upon it. Try to replace it with something which is positive. Maybe that situation does not demand you to be positive. Maybe it was really bad. Maybe it was something where you can't just comprehend your mind around, and you can't just be positive about it. In that case also, Maharishi Patanjali is describing another step, which is Ishwarapranidhana, which is surrender to the higher power. How to surrender to God. This is something which will come into place when you have tried everything and you just don't know what is the solution. In that case, just realize in your life that you are being supported by a higher power, and the situation, which is a negative situation which has come into your life, is trying to teach you a lesson and is trying to give you an example of your own internal mind's reflection. So everything which you have created outside you, even if you're not able to manifest anything in life, or maybe you're not able to get a job that you want, or maybe a relationship that you want, or maybe anything in life, everything is a reflection of your internal state of mind. And the challenges that you're facing in life, the negative emotions that you're facing in life, they all have been created by your own sanskars and your own habit patterns itself. And the situation which has come in front of you right now, it's trying to teach you that it's time that you try again and try to solve it. It's something more positive, because until now you have been doing everything very negatively. Maybe you have tried being positive as well, but you may not have surrendered to God. The ultimate solution lies in surrendering your problems to God and asking for help. If nothing goes your way, ask for help. And I have witnessed this in my life, that when you sit and try to surrender to God and you give your problems to Him, He will definitely come and help you. He will give you a very beautiful insight, and you will suddenly feel light. The feeling that you're going through is extremely important. If there is a thought which will give you a feeling of lightness, it means it's something which is coming from the pure divine within you. But if there's a thought which is not making you feel light, but it's making you stressed or anxious, it means something which is created by your sanskars, the previous karmas, and the ego self. So there are two worlds within us. One is the material world, which is the ego self, which tries to protect itself as a human being. But then there is the soul, which is a pure divine consciousness. If you make the power of the soul stronger by cultivating more mindfulness, by cultivating meditation in your daily practices, and surrendering to God, showing gratitude, you're just trying to overcome negative emotions by forcing your positive emotions over the negative ones. That is when your soul power will increase, and that is when that divine light within you will shine. There's one more thing that I read last night in one of the books, that there are auras, or the energy that we are emitting from our body. if we and this aura color changes every time we are going through a certain emotion. It's an ever changing thing, but there are people who can maintain their aura positively. For that, you need to practice changing the color of your aura. You can try this technique. It's a very beautiful technique, and I tried it a few days ago and it really worked. What happens is, when you are going through a negative emotion, let's say you're being angry right now, you are radiating that red or dark green color of aura, and it's going into your surroundings. Everybody else is also catching it, even though you're not expressing your anger, but it's there. People can see that you're angry, and eventually they'll also catch that anger and become angry themselves. Now, this is called exchange of energy. The moment you realize that you don't want to be angry anymore because you want yourself to be in the positive areas of the mind, what you can do is either try to cultivate more positive thoughts. But if that is very difficult, sit with your spine straight and try to imagine a light which is emitting, which is of light color, maybe light blue, light violet, and it's something which is overcoming your red color of aura. This will work for sure, because it's something which is happening on an energetic level, and it's a game of visualization. If you are someone who is a powerful visualizer, if you have a great visualizing ability, then this technique will definitely work for you. Otherwise, if you're somebody who can control your mind, then it's better that you take your awareness from the negative area of the mind to the positive area of the mind. And this is what Maharishi Patanjali is also talking about in his Yoga Sutras, that you have to get rid of your vrittis, the old patterns, the old negative patterns, and rewire your brain to the more positive patterns, so that you're able to manifest good things in life. So there's one more point that Maharishi Patanjali is talking about, is once you become the observer of your negative thought, that negative thought will get disintegrated. How is that even possible? It will only be possible by practice. So this is something which will come when you'll practice sitting with your emotions and try to observe it through a distance. It comes with practice. That's why I've not kept this point in the initial part of the video. But if you are someone who meditates and you believe that you have a soul within yourself, then try to reflect upon that thought and consider it as an entity, and know that the awareness in your mind has now traveled to a very negative area of the mind, which is anger. But you don't want to stay there. You want your awareness to come to a very positive area of the mind, so that you feel good, so that you are able to make others feel good, right? You don't want to be someone who wants to depress others. I've also noticed this one thing, that if you are someone who's feeling very negative lately, the aura around you will change, and everyone will get to know that you are down in the energy spectrum. It shows on your face. Some people can see auras, but some people can just tell it by your face, because emotions are on our face all the time. You will start to see that your face is swelling a little bit. You can just tell it by seeing yourself in the mirror, that today my energy is all gone. I'm not looking that bright and shiny. So it's all a game of energy. You need to change your thought patterns to become more positive in life. Otherwise, you will be emitting negativity, and you'll be attracting negativity, and you'll be manifesting all those negative things which you don't want. That's why it's very important that we bring our awareness back into our control and overcome our negative emotions with the positive emotions through Pratipaksha Bhavana. So the last point that I want to tell in this video is that just 1 or 2 episodes of changing your emotions into positive is not going to help you. You have to stay at it. You have to keep practicing having a lifestyle which supports your emotions. So we talked about that there are 3 gunas into play, and those gunas are something which are always changing, and those gunas will govern our nature. These gunas will govern our lifestyle, and vice versa. Our lifestyle will also govern these gunas. So these gunas were sattvikta, rajasikta, tamasikta. So if you are someone who's lazy or who procrastinates, or maybe you are mostly into sleeping mode, then you will be attracting more negativity in your life, and you'll also have negative thoughts. To break those patterns, go into Rajasiktha, which is take action by showing up to the things that you want to do in life, or maybe move your body. When you move your body, that is called Rajasiktha, or the mode of passion, and it will kill your tamasic mode, which is tapas. And none of these things are actually as important as being sattvic, because when we become sattvic in nature by allowing ourselves to be positive, by meditating every day, by practicing some religious rituals, or going to the temple, or maybe eating a healthy diet, all these things will lead our mind, or our awareness will stay into the positive areas of the mind, and we'll start attracting positivity. But the ultimate goal of yoga again is not to be in any of these modes. All these modes, when a person stays in one of these modes, they become attached to it, and that's what we do not want. We want to transcend beyond these three gunas and become the observer of the three gunas. How will we become the observer of these three gunas? It'll happen when we practice observing our thoughts. When we observe our thoughts, we'll be able to point out, okay, this is Rajasic thought, this is Tamasic thought, and this is Sattvic thought. But once you become detached from these three thoughts, you can transcend your mind, and you'll become Gunatit in nature, and you will go beyond the material nature. And once you reach that level, maybe by practicing meditation or any kind of yogic practice, you will be able to then manifest the kind of life that you want, and you'll be able to liberate yourself from all the suffering. So the things that I'm talking about right now, that you have to change your negative thought patterns into positive thought patterns, that will become so easy for you. You don't have to reach out on YouTube to find a video like this and get insights from it. You will become your own master, because you will be governed by your own soul power. So that's all for today's video. Let me know if you like this video, and if there are any challenges you're facing in your emotional life and you want to get healed. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.